You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure, smash that like button.
24/7 Sports, they've updated their 2025 class rankings. Bryce Underwood, the #1 player in the country still for 2025. They also looked at portal additions for the top 25 teams in college football, the preseason top 25, and portal additions that could be swing players. Now, I've told you before, of this portal class for LSU, the guy who I think is the most important for LSU, I do believe is Jordan Gilbert. Because Blake Baker does put an emphasis on the safety position in his defense, because you last year not only were inexperienced, but you lacked physical ability at safety, you bring in Jordan Gilbert, who's a Baton Rouge guy who went to U-High, went to A&M, was a starter at A&M, played significantly as a freshman, became a starter, and then last year only didn't start the entire season because the season was cut short due to injury. I think Jordan Gilbert coming in immediately makes you more veteran, more experienced, more talented at safety. But 24/7 Sports actually listed Gio Paez, the defensive tackle from Wisconsin, as the guy that's the impact transfer addition for LSU. And y'all, if you've listened to us as we've talked portal and roster here in this offseason, I've mentioned Paez plenty. And the thing for me that is most impressive about Gio Paez, and again, this is just my opinion, and it will all play out in time. But we put so much attention on LSU addressing defensive tackle in this portal cycle, and them going after a big-name player, right? And it didn't work out for NIL reasons and for different reasons, as we well know. But Paez is a guy that, for me, is fascinating. And the write-up, they have his Gio Paez name is listed, but this is far more about LSU's defensive tackle room. The Tigers swung and missed on several DT targets this spring. LSU wanted to add multiple impact pieces and ended up with a pair of 3-star transfers in Paez from Wisconsin, Grand Valley State's JVR Suggs. Goes on. Given the almost total lack of experience on the defensive interior for LSU, the Tigers' defense hinges on how well the transfers play along with development from younger players. If they play well, a shaky 2023 defense should look a lot better. If not, LSU might waste a dynamic offense once again. Okay. I do agree with that. And I think just Bo Davis coaching them up could make them better. But I also look at where could you potentially have the impact guy that you're not necessarily expecting. And what I've said pretty consistently about Gio Paez, and I'll grant you that when they got Gio Paez from Wisconsin, I wasn't necessarily overwhelmed. I wasn't necessarily jumping for joy. It wasn't until we spoke to Gio Paez on the show. And the comparison that I'll draw is to Joe Burrow. And please, please, please don't roll your eyes. I understand just what saying that name in these parts means. I'm not saying that it's going to have that kind of impact. But what I mean is from a personality standpoint only. Not the position he plays, not the impact he'll have, just from the perspective and personality. One of the things I remember most from Joe Burrow's visit at LSU was him being very transparent up front. He didn't want to wear the uniform. He didn't want to take the pictures, do the photo shoot. He didn't want to walk out onto the field at the stadium with his name on the scoreboard and all that. So wasn't interested in any of that. Joe Burrow came here, and it was all about, let's talk ball. Show me how you're going to use me. How do I fit in? This is my opportunity. I have to make it. And when we talked to Gio Paez on the show, it was the same thing. He is entering his 6th year. He spent the previous 5 years at Wisconsin, where they ran a 3-4. He was a 3-4 end. And the thing Gio Paez told us on this show was what I knew was I was not going anywhere that was anything other than a 4-3. Because I need to play interior tackle. I'm not just going to eat up blocks so other people can make plays in a 3-4. I am fit to be a 4-3 interior lineman, to be disruptive and make plays. And I want to know how I fit, and they showed me that. Didn't put on the uniform, didn't take all the pictures, the photo shoot, wasn't interested in any of that. He's interested in ball because this is a guy who has been in college since 2019. He redshirted the year LSU won the national championship. He redshirted in 2019. In the COVID year, played in just 1 game. 21, he played in 9 games. 22, he played in 10. And last year, he played in 13 with 6 starts. So you've seen him increase his the impact, the opportunity, the playing time as the years have gone along. But he understands this is it. If he wants to make a run at pro football and give himself the best opportunity as a 4-3 interior tackle, this is it. So I do look at Gio Paez and say, that makes sense. Let me see how Gio Paez looks at LSU this year, and we'll see how it goes.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.